Hailey Pascoe, now Hailey Cavenas, missed her entire junior season at Lehigh because of a knee injury. In this game against Colgate, she poured in a career-high 28 points, leading the Mountain Hawks to a 10-point victory. She says what stands out the most for her from this game is how she and her teammates worked together on the offensive end.
You know, one of the best parts of this team my senior year was just, you know, how many threats we had. And, you know, I think one of the things that stood out to me the most was just teammates working hard to get me open, and they themselves being a threat to create those shots for me. So I think that would be, you know, one of the main takeaways for me. You had, you know, people like, you know, Hannah Hedstrom and, you know, Cam Boer and Cam Benz that provided a lot of opportunities for me to get open and get those shots off.
With this being her final year, Cavenas knew Lehigh's next loss would be the end of her career. She used that as a motivator to keep the season alive.
There's a different level of, you know, determination and urgency to win, especially for me coming off an injury the previous year. You know, this for me was, you know, win or, you know, be done for good. And I just, you know, I remember looking at people in that game saying, you know, we're not going to lose this game. Like we're going to win this. Like we can do this. And I think there was a lot of pressure, but, you know, I felt very comfortable with who I was out there on the court with. So I knew it wasn't all up to me.
Cavenas made 10 of her 13 field goal attempts, including 6 three-pointers in the quarterfinal against Colgate. She said she was in the zone that night.
It was one of those games where I just, you know, I could feel that my shot was on and that, you know, things were going to, you know, shots were going to fall. So absolutely.
Cavenas combined a smooth shooting form with a very quick release to make 134 three-pointers in her 3-year career. That shot was the product of a lot of hard work.
Hours and hours of practice. You know, that was one of the things that was, you know, harped on for me, especially in high school when I was thinking about playing at the next level of, you know, if you want to be a shooter and you want to get a shot off in order to shoot over the defense and things like that, you're going to have a quick release. So, you know, hours spent in front of a shooting gun and getting hundreds of shots up.
Hailey went to high school in California. A couple of good connections led her to Bethlehem, including former Mountain Hawk Quincy Mann.
You know, my AAU coach had a longstanding relationship with the staff at Lehigh. He had previous players play there, one of them being Quincy, who I played a number of years with. He encouraged me to go out and see it, felt like it would be a really good fit for me. You know, he knew I was looking for a place that would provide really strong academics as well as competitive athletics. And, you know, I think I found a balance in that at Lehigh.
Cavenas leaned on Mann to find out what Lehigh was all about and if it would be a good place for her.
I definitely talked to her a lot about, you know, like fit and program and things like that. And we had played together for a number of years. So I think it was nice to go in knowing somebody who was already there. I think that's an advantage that some people don't always have. You know, I definitely looked to her a lot for advice and things like that.
As it turns out, basketball is only one of the reasons Lehigh was the right choice.
I met my husband there, so that would be a huge bonus. But in terms of basketball and personally for me, I think it ended up being the perfect fit. I liked the small class sizes as well as the relationships I built on the team. You know, both my classmates were just in my wedding, and I had a number of teammates at my wedding. So I think, you know, in terms of building long-term relationships, academics and athletics, it was the perfect balance.
Her husband is Tyler Cavenas, a former defensive lineman for the Lehigh football team. Hailey and Tyler, who is from Mahanoy City, Pennsylvania, have settled near Des Moines, Iowa.
We actually just bought a house, and then I am actually getting my master's degree in social work. And then he is working one town over for a police department.
After this win over Colgate, Lehigh fell at American in the Patriot League semifinals to finish the season at 21-10. Hailey Cavenas averaged just under 10 points per game and dropped in 66 three-pointers in her final season wearing the brown and white.